All right. How's that? When I try to get close to the telescope over there, I get really terrible feedback, regardless of how low I make the volume on my phone, and regardless of me turning the mic off. I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing that. So sorry about that. What I was saying earlier was that we'll be looking at Venus in a little bit, and hopefully, if the moon comes out before the live stream ends, we'll shoot on over to the moon. We still have a ways to go though. But welcome, yay! I'm very excited. I'm very excited to be doing this. Um, the reason why I started this is because I have been doing live stream through Instagram Live for a little over a year now. And for some reason lately, Instagram keeps pulling my videos and pulling my live streams due to copyright issues. I don't know how you can copyright the moon. I have no music playing in my videos. I try to avoid, street noise as much as humanly possible when I do my live streams. So I don't know what it is that they're picking up on that for some reason keeps getting the copyright ban. And so eventually I just gave up and said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to try to do this another way. And so here we are on StreamYard. And I know this is streaming between Facebook and YouTube Live. And I think Periscope still a thing? So it's supposed to be on all three of those platforms. So, we'll see how this turns out. We'll work out the bugs together about, the audio. Because right now I have to step all the way away from my telescope so I don't get that weird feedback. So hopefully Venus will, make its appearance, or these clouds will finally move out of the way, because that's exactly where Venus is, right there. And as soon as we get some movement on these clouds, I will have Venus in the telescope view. Okay, sorry about all that. So now we have Venus in our field of view. Um, Now, since this is my very first StreamYard stream, um, I do thank you for your patience. It took a little bit longer to set up than I wanted, but I'm very glad we were able to do this tonight. It has been raining for what seems like forever here in New York City, and I'm glad that it has finally stopped. So now, as soon as I figure out why I'm getting that weird audio feedback, um, I can actually go over to the telescope and play around with it some more. But until then, I think I'm just going to hang back over here and allow you all to see, to take a look at Venus. Now it's going to get a little bit nicer as it gets darker, of course. Just for now, it is in that cloud band area, and also the sun, is setting, and so you still have all of that glow from the sun. But pretty soon, as that diminishes, Venus will look nice and bright, and you'll be able to see some of that, a little bit of that phasing, where it kind of looks like a half moon, which is really cool. So now, I think what I've learned is that I'm probably going to go ahead and make sure that I only have one screen up as I do this, because um, for some reason it's just so loud near the telescope that I can't even get near it. Otherwise, I get this really terrible feedback. So it's just another warm one today in New York City. Actually, isn't so bad. It's not as bad as it's been. Um, so for some of you that maybe haven't joined me on some of the previous streams, um, this is a little bit of par for the course of what I do is complain about the weather mostly. Oh, we have some clouds rolling in. You see all that? those clouds are about to engulf Venus. I wish I could zoom in, but they are getting in there really good. They're like skirting along the side, which is really cool. And you'll notice that the white balance for StreamYard is having a little bit of a hard time trying to focus because we have this really thick cloud band coming through. Let's see if I can get y'all to see it. It's all of that. So all of that right there is engulfing Venus. So now anytime I mute my audio, it's really just because it's hard for me to kill that echo. But you guys are never going to believe what I'm looking at. I can see the moon from here. So I think, with everyone's permission, I'm going to pull off Venus, and I am going to move this telescope as fast as I can and calibrate it as fast as I can to get you all the moon because it looks like a strawberry right now. It is so red. It is insane. Okay. I think you all can hear me. I hope you all can hear me. Um, so I just happened to see the moon coming up, and I decided to see if I can run the telescope across the roof. I did, and so now we're good to go. Um, so yeah, so there's the buck moon. So for those of you that don't know, each full moon has its own, I guess you could say, kind of name designation. And so last month, I think it was the strawberry moon. Um, and the month before that, I believe with May, I think it was the flower moon, or something to that effect. So, so every month there's a designation. And this month just happens to be the buck moon. And that is because bucks, as you know, as they're getting ready to mate, they have almost like the velvet on their antlers, or it's like mating season for, you know, the bucks and does. um, so that's a little bit of fun fact for you. But what's interesting is you have two things kind of happening here. The moon, when it's coming up on a horizon, typically does have that kind of reddish orange appearance, and it looks enormous, naked eye. Even when it's not a supermoon, it looks huge. So if you are ever able to get to a beach, um, I definitely would say check out moonrise, because, or even moonset, because it just looks huge. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that New York City right now is experiencing a lot of smoke from all of these wildfires out west, and because of that, we are getting some crazy, you know, atmosphere looks around here. So a lot of if anybody, I'm sure you all saw some of the photos. The sun had this really kind of hazy orange glow, and you know, and the moon is, you know, no exception. The moon isn't immune to any of that, so it has this really hazy orange look about it. So yeah, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, with that. I don't know how these two kids got up here on the roof. I think they climbed up the fire escape, but whatever. I don't really care. But it's like I'm jumping around on the roof. Anyway, uh, so yeah, um, it's cool stuff, you know, and it's especially cool because you don't really get to see a lot of that in New York City. Um, you know, you don't really get to see a lot of like really cool things. I mean, you can, but you can't because it's just so freaking bright here. Um, but occasionally you get stuff like this. Hi, Joanne. How are you? How's it going? Trying something different this time. So, for anybody that may just be tuning in, I used to do this on Instagram, sometimes twice a month. This time I am trying a StreamYard, just because Instagram keeps muting my videos. They keep pulling them for copyright, and I got tired of fighting them. I only just won one of my, I guess you could say, like a fight that I was having with them. I just cleared that, and it was a video that I did in September of last year for International Observe the Moon Night. And so, you know, it's July now, and it's, you know, it's 10 months is just way too long for them to figure out that, hey, I'm not stealing anyone's material. It's just the moon. And it's, you know, as far as I know, the moon is not copywritten by anyone. Um, so yeah, so the sooner that they figure that out, and it's not just me, it's there are a bunch of other creators on Instagram, that especially are in STEM, that are having this issue with a lot of their, it's just, from what I know, it's just lunar stuff. It's just stuff with the moon. So, you know, photos, live streams, you know, short videos, everybody is having their stuff pulled, and I cannot for the life of me tell you why. Um, I just know that I am like sick of it. Sorry if the camera angle from my face is weird. I'm like trying to figure out like how to hold this. Um, so yeah, it's we all got kind of tired of fighting them, and I know I did anyway. And so because of that, I have started using StreamYard as a provider, like third party. I don't know where to look. It's so weird. Let's maybe do this way. Oh yeah, that's a little bit more intuitive. Okay, so I've gotten sick of fighting Instagram, and so now I'm using StreamYard. And because I'm using StreamYard, what's great is that I can now stream to YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. Apparently, is still around. I can stream to all three of those simultaneously and see everyone's comments and questions, and I can even showcase a question if someone asks anything. Cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting comfortable with this method, and this is probably going to be the norm going forward, just because I don't want to fight with Instagram anymore. So I'm just going to make a quick adjustment, because if you can see the moon, even though it is rising, it looks like I may have to make a small adjustment. It might be trying to clear a roof. So 1 second. And so you'll notice, if you were here a few seconds ago, the moon is as it's rising, it's that atmosphere color is not it's not affecting it as much. And so you're seeing a lot more detail now, and it's just going to look better as it gets higher in the sky. It's going to be a little bit clearer to see, um, and it'll turn on into that grayish white that we're all super familiar with. But again, this is wildfire effects, and just our own atmospheric conditions here. I gotta agree with you, Joanne. I do think that the platform in terms of streaming, Facebook is a little bit better, in the sense that I do feel like I do have a little bit more control. One thing I'm not sure that I can do, though, is I can't zoom in to show you all details on the moon, like how I would sometimes do on Instagram, because Instagram allowed you to zoom in on the video. I'm not sure I can do that with StreamYard. So I won't be able to zoom in, unfortunately. But what's cool is that we have this really nice cloud passing right in front of it. And that always gives for like a nice effect. I never mind the clouds when they pass in front of the moon, as long as they're not completely obscuring. I think it makes for a really nice, show. Especially for those of you that have been with me for some time, you all know how much I love shooting the full moon. And I say that with sarcasm. Again, I just personally think that the moon is a little flat, you know, not a lot of details. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite thing to look at. So I hope everyone is having a good summer so far. You know, I know we're entering August, and August is typically so hot. But I hope you all are doing well and staying safe and washing your hands. Be the hand washing champion that I know you can be. And if you are in the New York City area, there are a couple of events coming up. Well, there's actually a few. One is happening tonight at Brooklyn Bridge Park. So if you happen to live near Brooklyn Bridge Park at Pier 1, the Amateur Astronomers Association of New York is hanging out there with their telescopes tonight. And so I'm always telling people to go check them out because, as nice as live streams are, it's nothing compared to the real thing. When you're going up to a telescope and you're looking through the eyepiece in person, it's so cool. Hey, thank you so much, Sherwin. Um, Greetings from New York City. So yeah, if you are in New York City right now, specifically if you are in downtown Brooklyn, Cobble Hill, Brooklyn Heights, Dumbo, if you're in that area, definitely head on down to Pier 1 at Brooklyn Bridge Park and go check out some telescopes. They're there until 10 p.m. tonight, and it's going to be just about the same view that I have, just this really nice lunar view. And then if you can't get that, the Brooklyn Bridge is always, a great thing to look at. I'm partial, of course. I'm from Brooklyn. So, it's, of course, I think the Brooklyn Bridge is great. Frontline in a hospital, thank you so much for everything you've been doing these last almost 2 years now. I know it's been crazy for you guys. And, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Um, I know it's been rough. So I especially hope you're doing well. Um, so yeah. Oh, sorry, got a little, not me crying. Sorry, getting a little emotional here. But yeah. So if you're in New York City, definitely go pop in, check out those guys. And then there are two more in-person live. Sorry, in-person stargazing events. Once again at Brooklyn Bridge Park next Friday on the 30th. I think it's next Friday. I think next Friday is the 30th. And then at Evergreens Cemetery in Bushwick, Brooklyn. And those both are from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So if you're able to pop into an event, stop on by, say hello. I will be at the Evergreen Cemetery event next Friday with a few other of my AAA people, and of course, we'll also be at Brooklyn Bridge Park. And then I have, weather permitting, because this month has been more clouds and rain than I can even remember in recent years. Um, we have another live stream this Sunday for solar observing. So hopefully the weather will cooperate and we'll be able to see the sun and we'll be able to get some sunspots. And, it should be a good time. And it's going to be the same thing like I'm doing now with StreamYard on Facebook and YouTube and Periscope. Just because I'm like fed up with Instagram. And then, I'm taking a little bit of a break. I will be visiting. I will be visiting the home of amateur telescope making in Springfield, Vermont, the first weekend of August for Stellafane. And Stellafane is I guess you could say, a telescope making star party. Um, I have never made my own telescope, and I am very much looking forward to learning how to make a telescope from scratch, and hopefully get it to work. It does. It absolutely does look like a witch is going to pop up on her broom any second and zip on by. Yeah, and tonight's moon is also known as the thunder moon. You're absolutely right. Of course, because thunderstorms galore, which is all we've been experiencing in New York City, it seems. I actually think it was supposed to rain a little bit today, and it either held out or it went off the coast. So, I'll take it. So yeah, I will be heading to Stellafane in Springfield, Vermont. And it's again, it's an all day well, it's an all weekend telescope making star party. So I'm very excited about that. Um, just because I've never been, and this just sounds so cool. Like, why would I not want to do that, right? So now we have some more clouds passing in front. Can't do anything about the weather, unfortunately. Hopefully, it'll. Hopefully, these clouds will pass on by. So the moon is rising, and those clouds are moving kind of just under it. So I guess we'll just give it some time, and hopefully it'll clear before the stream ends. Now, if there are any StreamYard experts on here um, that maybe know how to uh, show me how to kill that duplicate audio, please, by all means, shoot me a message because it's really weird standing like 20 feet from my telescope because I can't be next to it because of the echo. And I have tried to turn off that mic every which way, and it is not working out. But that's okay. So I hope these people don't kick me out before it was supposed to end at 9:15. It is 9:08 now. Um, I hope it doesn't like really give me the boot. You know what? If it does, then I've learned and I will know for the next time. That's all you can do, right? Is learn for the next time. That's true of anything. So I hope it's clear where you are. If it is, you'll have Venus setting in the west. You'll have the moon rising in the east, and just north. If you look up, you will start to see the summer triangle peeking out. And this is, of course, if you are, if you're in the northern hemisphere. You'll get the summer triangle coming out. You'll have Arcturus in the constellation Bootes. Arcturus is super easy to spot, naked eye. You should see a very, very bright reddish star. It's super easy to see. You can't miss it. And if you are on the eastern seaboard, it is just about 90 degrees straight up right now. And it's absolutely gorgeous. One of the fun facts about Arcturus that I actually love is that the light from Arcturus is 37 years old. So that light that you're seeing is light that was emitted 37 years ago. So I thought that I always think that that's super cool. Like, that's one of the coolest things about stars is that the light that you're seeing is never the light that is being emitted right now. It's always old light, Just like the sun. The sun is, every time, you go outside and it's sunny, that's light from 8 minutes ago. Ugh, these stupid clouds. Of course. Of course, these clouds would ruin my day. Figures. And it's kind of messed up because I can kind of make out the moon like around the cloud bands, um, but I can't get it. I can't get the telescope to focus on it. Um, but yeah, uh, not bad for a first go, right? I hope to be doing this a little bit more, weather permitting, of course, because the weather is always like the biggest problem. Um, but yeah, if we've got some clear skies up ahead, I'd be more than happy to pop outside, and that's including, scheduled events. I'm going to try to do these again more, around once a month. Um, you know, close to the full moon, if not just before the full moon. I personally like to do these types of live streams with the moon, um, when it's not full, because when the moon is full, it looks very flat. You don't get all of the crater definition. You don't get all of those details, those ridges, those valleys. You don't see all of those really cool features that are just amazing, when you look at the moon through a telescope. Um, you miss a lot of that when the moon is full. And don't, please, again, I'm not saying that, the full moon isn't pretty. I just think that, it could look better with, some craters and some definition and sunlight and dips. And you see Arcturus? Hey. So yeah, that's in the constellation Bootes, and that is 37 light years away. Another thing that's cool about Arcturus is that it's part of one of my favorite mnemonics. And you would say, if, like, let's say, for example, if you were looking for the star Spica or Spica, depends on, I think it's more of a regional thing, Spica, Spica. Um, if you were looking for the star Spica, and that's in the constellation Virgo, what you would do to find it, you would use the mnemonic, you arc to Arcturus, and then you speed or spike onto Spica. And the arc to Arcturus refers to the arch in the Big Dipper. So you arc to Arcturus, and then you speed or spike onto Spica. And so if you're looking at Arcturus from the arch of the Big Dipper, Spica is south of it or to the side of it in a diagonal direction. And Spica is really pretty. It's this really gorgeous blue-white star, absolutely beautiful. And you can use the handle of the Big Dipper to find Arcturus, and then use that to find Spica. And now, as the white balance adjusts for the moon, rising above the clouds, uh, the your screens are going to look a little crazy because there's no auto adjust on the white balance for StreamYard. I wish there were, but there is not. Okay, let's see if this thing don't kick me out, because I can see that we're about approaching the 9:15 p.m. mark. In the event that it kicks me out, and I hope it doesn't, I hope you guys had a good night, or have a good weekend. I'm going to say my goodbyes now, just in case it really does kick me out at 9:15. So let's do that countdown. No? All right, yay. Okay, great. All right, let's keep this party going. So now you'll see the big difference between how the moon looked 30 minutes, or not even 30 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, and how it looks now. How it's more of that traditional gray white. So yeah, the moon is nice and clear, or it's cleared those clouds. I keep muting my mic. I apologize, and that's just because I keep walking over to the telescope. When I walk over to the telescope, no matter what I do, I get this terrible feedback. There we go. Okay, great. All right, so we're going to keep this party going. I just did a quick adjustment with the telescope so that this way I don't lose tracking. And so now it should just track no matter what. And if you happen to be able to catch the moon, right now it looks like this crazy yellow color. It's so cool. But there are no clouds. Well, there are a couple of clouds that it's about to approach, but they're small. So yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind hanging out for a little bit longer. If you guys don't mind hanging out just a little bit longer, it's Friday. You know, it's the end of the month, just about. But yeah, if you are able to get outside, Arcturus is really nice. Vega is also a really nice bright star, and that's part of the summer triangle. And let's see what else you can catch. Let's see what else I can catch. Depending on where you live, you may have better seeing than I do, simply because of the light pollution in New York City is just, everybody knows light pollution here is absurd. But I can still see Venus all the way to the west. Unfortunately, I cannot slew back and forth between Venus and the moon right now. And that is because there are a lot of obstructions here on the roof that would make it pretty impossible to move back and forth really quickly. But in the coming weeks, not only will we try to do some more, we'll do some more lunar observing, but we will be able to start catching Jupiter and Saturn again at a normal hour. I mean, Jupiter and Saturn are out pretty late. If you are willing to stay up till midnight, 1 a.m., you can catch them nice and high in the horizon. I don't know that I would ever do a live stream that late, just because I don't know what everyone's schedule is like, and so and honestly, typically by 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 a.m. I'm not in bed, but I'm definitely like, head in that direction. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would ever do a live stream that late. So, what I would probably do is in September when Jupiter and Saturn are a little bit, when they're out just a little bit earlier, I will definitely be sure to live stream them. If you do go to my Instagram page, which is linked in my bio, um, and you go through the IGTV feeds, you will be able to see some of my older streams, um, and you'll be able to see the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn that happened last December. So you can check that out if you'd like, um, and. Some of the other streams that I did that were kind of like short notice, or, there were solar observing streams just because there happened to be sun spots out. Oh, here comes that New York City flavor, the sound of sirens. um, so you'll be able to see some of those on the IG feed. I'm going to try to move all of those over to my other platforms just so that, they're all, in one, they're all on one platform and nobody has to bounce between. But I've just been incredibly lazy about doing it. I've done some videos, but not all videos. Yeah, I've just been really lazy about it. So Jupiter and Saturn Yeah, Jupiter and Saturn are fan favorites. Not so much Jupiter, Saturn definitely more because I feel like it's, it's definitely more recognizable. I mean, it has its own emoji. Like it's, what other planet has its own emoji, We don't have an emoji for Mars. We have to use just that red circle dot thing. So, and that's how we just pretend that that's Mars. So yeah, Saturn is definitely a fan favorite. And if you are ever in an opportunity to get yourself to a telescope, whether it is through a star party or your local astronomy club, I absolutely recommend checking out Saturn through an eyepiece, just because it's so gorgeous. Like there are no words for how like amazing it looks through an eyepiece. When you're looking at it, yourself. And Jupiter is cool too. Jupiter is great. What's cool about Jupiter is not just the red spot, which can sometimes be hard to see depending on seeing conditions and whether or not the spot is in the field of view. But what's cool about it is that you can see the storm clouds on Jupiter. You can see those bands of Jupiter. So if you ever pull up, just a regular NASA image, and you see all those kind of cream and brown and reddish orange bands that move east to west, those are all visible through a telescope. You can see them through a telescope. And you don't even really need a high power telescope to do it. You can see them with no issues. It really just depends on your visibility, for your seeing conditions. So, like if it's really hazy, it might be hard. If you live in a very bright city, it might be hard. So, just those are the things that really like come into play. Um, but you can absolutely see the bands of Jupiter, no problem. You can see the rings of Saturn with a low power telescope with no issues. Um, yeah, I see that. Thank you very much, Joanne. And I see that you said that you're still trying to buy one. Telescopes are really hard to come by now just because there is such a shortage of materials and parts. I know some folks that have been waiting for telescope orders for months now, and it's just been really hard to get a hold of anything. Hopefully, that changes as we get back to normal. Um, Probably going to be closer to 2022, but you know, as long as we get back to normal, or what we can call normal. But yeah, Saturn is definitely a crowd pleaser, definitely a fan favorite. Um, if you're able to visit your local astronomy club, I recommend it wholeheartedly. Um, Also, you don't necessarily have to go through an astronomy club. You can check out your local library and see if they have a telescope program. Some libraries do. And then you can also visit the Solar System Ambassador page through NASA. Solar System Ambassadors is a program that I am a part of and have been for 4 years now, and I love every moment of it. And you might be able to find an ambassador near you that maybe necessarily, if they don't have a telescope, they may be able to do, or they might be doing some events, whether they're virtual or in person. You can learn something cool about our solar system. Like you can learn about the upcoming Dragonfly mission to Saturn's moon Titan. You can learn a little bit more about the Ingenuity chopper on Mars. There are so many different things that the solar system ambassadors do outreach for. And, it's not necessarily always space, too. Sometimes there are things about, our environment, um, just about everything, really. So check out that page. That would be the Solar System Ambassadors. And um, if you once you check them out, you can go by state, you can go by I think you can even go by city, um, and see if there's anybody near you. So that was weird. I got completely kicked out. Oh yeah, Franklin Institute, definitely for sure. Um, one of my good friends here in New York City uh, has I don't want to say has an in with Franklin Institute, but he's very familiar with the people that work there. Um, yeah, sorry about the stream just now. I got booted out. I don't know what happened. Um, maybe that's maybe that's StreamYard's way of letting me know. um, okay, well, you know, that's fine. I also think it's because so I'm streaming. I am streaming. Uh, the good thing about StreamYard is that you can use multiple devices, right? I think up to six. And I am using my phone to stream the moon, like I do, and I am talking to you also through my iPad, which is how you see my mug here, and um, I think maybe because my iPad is dying, I don't know. It's maybe that's why it's giving me the boot somehow. But maybe I can just stream through the phone and keep this going for a little bit longer. Okay. Hopefully the feedback isn't too bad. Um, oh boy. Yeah, definitely check out astronomy clubs in Philadelphia. There are tons in Pennsylvania alone. So yeah, check those out. Check out if you're willing to go into southern New Jersey. I know that there are a few clubs in southern New Jersey. Yeah, absolutely. Check out your local astronomy club. Let me see if I can make this adjustment real quick on the moon. Yeah. So check out your local astronomy club. Um, and of course, if you're ever in New York City. So we're about 1 hour in, and so I am going to wrap it up for now, just because I am doing a lot of back and forth, and it's getting kind of silly. So thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. I'm so glad I was able to do this with you all. We had some bumps along the road, but in the end, I'm glad that it finally cleared up a little bit, and I was able to do this with no problems or no major problems. I said that, and then I had to immediately adjust the telescope. So, so again, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Um, I hope to do this again, and I hope that I can. I hope that I can. Um, just make this again like a regular thing, like we did in 2020. So thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful evening. Have a great weekend, and keep looking up.